This video is sponsored by Dreamverse. Dreamverse is the world's first NFT and music festival. It is being held on the 4th of November at Terminal 5 in New York. It is a physical event. Really cool stuff happening. In particular, it is the first time that Bleeple's The First 5,000 Days NFT will be showcased. This is the most expensive NFT in the world at $69 million. There's a whole bunch of art stuff going on, including AR and VR experiences. That's from 12 to 4 p.m. And then there is the Dreamverse party from 8 to 1 a.m. Headlined by Alesso, various other artists there as well. Of course, the tickets are NFTs designed by a lot of money. You can buy them now. You get this sepia version, and when you turn up and get them scanned, you get this fully colourful version of the ticket itself, a valuable NFT. So check it all out. It's happening the 4th of November in New York. Check it out at dreamverse.life. Thanks for the sponsorship. Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So I thought we'd have a little autopsy of CryptoBlades, this game that was blew up on Binance Smart Chain. Very sort of DeFi-ish. You had to buy some NFTs, you could sort of do some battles, you could get some XP to level up your cards, and you could sort of win this token called Skill, which was actually locked into the system. It was fairly, it wasn't a great game, let's put it that way, but it was a way of sort of extracting this Skill token that at one point got very expensive, so people sort of piled in. So let's have a look at a few graphs. We can see here daily activities. This is daily active wallets. So very sort of rapid growth, and even more rapid sort of collapse. And now it's basically down. At one point over 400,000 daily active unique wallets. Now down to sort of 10,000-ish. We can have a look at the transactions per user. All this data is from DappRadar. So it's all open data because Binance Smart Chain is an open blockchain. So we can see here the transactions per user. Now this is interesting because at the start we see the most transactions. So if you think of every wallet, basically I've just taken the number of wallets and divided by the number of transactions a day. So we have to be a little bit careful with averages, but we can see here, this peaked at sort of 45 transactions per wallet per day. So this to me, this sort of peak suggests to me bots. So we see what's actually happening here is bot, even though there's not that many, this grows quite fast, so this could, so there's a lot of bots being added, but these bots are bashing away, and they're basically extracting this skill token as fast as possible. This is my view of it, at least. They're extracting this skill token to then sell it off onto through AMMs because they're sort of mining it out, and they know the price is going to fall as more people get involved. So we see this transactional stuff very strong at the beginning. As more players start coming in, obviously individual players are unlikely to be doing 40 transactions a day. There is gas fees involved in Binance as well. So we see this sort of fall down over time because as more people come into play, and then at the end as less people come to play. So now it's gone down to whatever it is, an average of like 2 or 3 a day, because basically the game is still obviously live on the Binance Smart Chain, but no one's playing it anymore because there's no financial reward to do it, and it's not very exciting. And here's a combination of everything. So this is, in blue we have the number of wallets. In red we have the volume, so some idea of the value going through the system, and in yellow we have the transactions. And what's interesting here is I've done this on a log scale because there's many more transactions and volume than there is users, so this is not linear. But we can kind of see that what's interesting to look at what peaks first. So actually what peaks first here is volume. So the volume of effectively looking at the value going through the smart contracts that make up the game, that peaks first. Transactions peak very quickly afterwards. But basically you can see this is sort of bots and people who know what they're doing front running the game. So by the time wallets have peaked here, so this I think is driven by mainly bots. This is driven mainly by people, real life wallets coming in. So we can see here that the smart money has sort of front run and is already, the bots are already not getting involved in the system anymore because transactions and volume are dropping. So you have to be very careful with all these sort of projects. That if you sort of come in late to the party, then you're the one who's sort of left holding the bag. And this is not to say that I think CryptoBlades was done as a pyramid scheme in that sense, where the people who get in first get paid out from the people who come in last. I don't think it was specifically done that way. It could have been. I don't know. My impression is it wasn't. There are easier ways to set up scams, really. I think we have to be careful. This is just the dynamic of lots of blockchain crypto projects. Is that you sort of get this? Everyone starts talking about a new project. People FOMO. Everyone piles in, and the smart money now, because people have cycled through so much of these things, is basically get in quick, get as much value as you can, and then get out and never touch it again. And I think this sort of graph shows this that the sort of automated systems or the smart money or both, they peak first, they get out, As soon as they get out, see this big volume drop here, and we can see wallets have suddenly dropped out as well, and then the whole thing goes into free fall. And actually, then we get this sort of weird kick in the tail, weird sort of lots of volatility here. So people are still trying to maybe have a last sort of kick, or trying to work out what's going on. Maybe you have to look at what goes on with the token price as well. So maybe there is still some opportunity, but we can see this is a much lower level. So instead of hundreds of thousands, instead of this is going to be millions, this is going to be tens of millions, isn't it? Here we're down to tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands. So it's really dropped off, and certainly wallets, it's basically down to 10,000 a day compared to 400,000 a day. So just be aware of this sort of stuff. If you enjoy a game, that's fine. Enjoy the game. If the game is not enjoyable and looks a bit more like a money focused sort of thing, then be very careful in what you do there. Obviously, anything on the blockchain, never spend more money than you can afford to lose. But if a project is not designed for longevity, look at a roadmap, see what's coming down the road, and even in those sort of projects, the roadmap can not be fulfilled. So, but at least have a look to see if you think a project has a strong community and looks like what's it going to be doing in 6 months' time. And if the view is in 6 months' time the person who set up the project is going to be in the Bahamas on a beach counting your money, then probably don't get involved. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Blockchain Gaming World, where we like looking at numbers about blockchain games and blockchain games as well. If you like that sort of stuff too, please subscribe to the channel. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.